A gorilla who could communicate with humans, grieve like we do, and understood she was going to die. This is the story nobody expected. A gorilla that could tell jokes, adopt kittens, call someone a dirty bad toilet when she was angry, and before she died, she left humanity a warning we're still trying to understand. This isn't science fiction. This is the true story of Coco, a gorilla who mastered over 1,000 words in sign language and forced scientists to completely rethink the line between human and animal intelligence. Over the next several minutes, you'll discover how one gorilla learned to communicate with humans, what she told us about grief, consciousness, and death, and why her final message to humanity is more relevant now than ever. Let's start at the beginning. July 4th, 1971, Independence Day in America. While fireworks exploded across San Francisco, something equally explosive was happening at the city zoo. A baby gorilla was born. They named her Hanabiko, fireworks child in Japanese, but everyone would come to know her simply as Coco. Here's where her story takes a dark turn. As a baby, Coco got sick. She had to be separated from her mother for medical treatment. And when she finally recovered and was returned, her mother rejected her completely. Think about that for a second. Coco was left alone in a cage, surrounded by gorillas she didn't know, abandoned by the one creature who should have protected her. At this point, her future looked bleak. But in 1972, a Stanford graduate student named Francine Patterson, everyone called her Penny, decided to do something radical. Penny wanted to teach a gorilla sign language. Not a chimpanzee, which scientists considered intelligent. Not an orangutan, a gorilla. At the time, gorillas had a reputation: aggressive, unpredictable. Not particularly smart compared to other primates. Most scientists wouldn't go near them for behavioral research. Penny didn't care. She chose Coco. And what happened next would rewrite everything we thought we knew about animal intelligence. But here's the problem. Coco wouldn't let anyone touch her. When teaching sign language to humans, instructors physically guide the students' hands into the right shapes. With Coco, impossible. So Penny had to do it the hard way. Hold up an object, sign it. Over and over and over again. Show the sign. Hope Coco understood. No shortcuts. No physical guidance. Just patience. And then one day, Coco signed back. The first word Coco ever signed was drink. One finger to her lips, the others bent. That single gesture changed everything. Within months, Coco wasn't just memorizing signs, she was learning language. By age 3, she knew 200 words. But it gets way more interesting than that. Coco could express emotions. When shown a picture of another ape about to take a bath, which she hated, she signed, "Me cry there." When she saw a horse with a bit in its mouth, she immediately signed, "Horse sad teeth." Let that sink in. She wasn't just naming things. She was interpreting situations, understanding feelings, connecting concepts. This was thinking. And then came the jokes. One day, Coco called herself a good bird and claimed she could fly. Then she laughed and admitted she was joking. She was lying for comedic effect. Another time, she pulled Penny's hair, then immediately signed an apology while laughing. She knew it would upset Penny. She did it anyway. She found it funny. This is what scientists call theory of mind. The ability to understand that other beings have their own thoughts and feelings, separate from yours. Most animals don't have this. Human children don't develop it until they're about 4 years old. Coco had it. But wait, here's where it gets really creative. When Coco didn't know the word for something, she invented her own words by combining signs she already knew. Penny wore a ring. Coco called it a finger bracelet. Think about that logic. A ring is literally a bracelet for your finger. She saw a mask for the first time and called it an eye hat. She looked into an empty cup and signed, "Drink." No. Critics said Penny was just training Coco like a circus animal, that she was reading too much into random gestures, that this was confirmation bias, not real communication. But then researchers caught Coco on camera when she was alone. She was signing to her dolls, having full conversations, with toys, when no one was watching, no treats involved, no rewards. You can't train that. That's language. So how smart was Coco? Really? According to various IQ tests, her intelligence measured between 70 and 90 points. That's below the average human IQ of 100. But here's the perspective you need. That's roughly equivalent to a human with mild learning difficulties, who can still live independently, hold conversations, and understand complex emotions. For an animal, that's absolutely extraordinary. Coco could draw at the level of a 4-year-old child. She'd sketch her favorite toys and scenes from her daily life. She even had relationships. Romantic ones. She had a boyfriend, a male gorilla named Michael who was also taught sign language. Later, another male named Endum joined them. Together they formed the first pair of animals in the world that could communicate using human language. And they used sign language for more than just trading bananas. When Michael tore the leg off Coco's doll, she became furious and called him a dirty, bad toilet. That's not just communication. That's creative insult construction. That's sass. Coco also developed some peculiar habits. She had an unusual fascination with the human chest, specifically women's breasts. In 2005, 3 caregivers even filed a lawsuit claiming they were pressured to fulfill this unusual request from the gorilla. Look, I'm not here to defend or explain Coco's preferences, but it does show she had distinct personal interests and wasn't afraid to express them. She was an individual with her own quirks. She was also remarkably self-aware. By age 19, she passed the mirror self-recognition test, something most animals fail. When gorillas see their reflection, they usually think it's another gorilla and react accordingly. Coco immediately recognized herself. She'd spend time looking at her own reflection, examining herself. That's consciousness. That's self-awareness at a level we rarely see outside humans and a handful of other species. Coco loved watching movies. Her favorite was Tea with Mussolini. Every time the saddest scene came on, when a young boy says goodbye to his family, Coco would turn away so she wouldn't get upset. She understood narrative. She understood emotional arcs. She knew when something sad was coming and actively avoided it to protect her own feelings. The film Jurassic Park impressed her so much that she became afraid to approach her toy dinosaurs afterward. She connected fiction to reality, felt fear from something she knew wasn't real. All of this demonstrated the depth of Coco's emotional world. She wasn't just responding to stimuli, she was experiencing life. But nothing demonstrated Coco's emotional depth more powerfully than her relationship with kittens. On her birthday in 1984, Coco asked her caretakers for a gift, a cat. They brought her several stray kittens to choose from. Coco examined each one carefully and selected a small gray kitten without a tail. She named him All Ball. What happened next is one of the most touching interspecies friendships ever documented. Coco treated All Ball like her own baby. She carried him gently on her back, hugged him, and even attempted to nurse him. Despite weighing over 200 pounds, she was incredibly careful with her tiny pet, adjusting her massive strength to avoid hurting him. Then tragedy struck. Later that same year, All Ball escaped from the enclosure and was hit by a car. He died. Coco's reaction to the loss shocked even experienced scientists who thought they understood animal emotion. When she was told the news, she first seemed to go into shock. She sat quietly, as if she hadn't heard anything at all. Then she began to make soft moaning sounds, deep, sorrowful noises that gorillas use to express grief. She signed sad and bad repeatedly, her brows furrowed. She pressed her hands to her cheek, the sign for sleep, and kept signing Sleep Cat, as if trying to process that her friend had fallen asleep forever. That's not instinct. That's grief. That's loss. That's the same emotional devastation humans feel when we lose someone we love. For several days after All Ball's death, Penny noticed Coco continued making sounds similar to human crying. She refused to play. She kept repeating the sign for sad. This ability to experience loss and express grief made Coco undeniably similar to humans in the ways that matter most. In the years that followed, Coco had new pet kittens. On her 44th birthday, she received 2 more, which she named Miss Black and Miss Gray after their fur colors. Videos of the enormous gorilla gently stroking tiny kittens became viral on the internet, touching millions of people worldwide. Coco's fame grew every year. Her photograph with All Ball appeared on the cover of National Geographic magazine, becoming one of the most iconic images in the publication's history. Many celebrities visited to meet the extraordinary gorilla. Among them was comedian Robin Williams, with whom Coco developed a genuine friendship. There's a touching video of their meeting where Coco tries to put on William's glasses, invites him to tickle her, and the two of them make funny faces together. You can see real connection there, genuine affection between two intelligent beings from different species. When Williams tragically died in 2014, Coco became noticeably sad after hearing the news. She walked around looking downcast all day. She mourned him. She understood that someone she cared about was gone forever. Beyond sign language, Coco also learned to use a special computer with symbols that would speak words aloud when she pressed them. She learned to draw and write simple symbols. She could hold a pen, select options from a menu, create basic drawings. Amazingly, Coco even learned to play musical instruments, harmonicas, toy flutes, and recorders. In 2012, scientists were astonished to observe Coco blowing into a recorder and producing sounds, an achievement previously thought impossible for primates due to the structure of their respiratory system. She was breaking barriers constantly, doing things that shouldn't have been possible. One of the most mysterious aspects of Coco's personality was her understanding of death. One day, a caregiver showed her a skeleton and asked whether it was alive or dead. Coco responded with a sign for dead. When asked where dead gorillas go, Coco calmly replied, "Comfortable hole." Then she blew a goodbye kiss. Think about that for a moment. She understood mortality. She understood that death meant going somewhere else, somewhere final. She had a concept of the afterlife, or at least of rest. In her final years, Coco became an ambassador for nature. She urged people through sign language to take care of the planet and other animals. "Nature is watching you," she signed. That phrase sounds almost ominous, doesn't it? But maybe it should. Maybe we need that reminder that the natural world isn't just a backdrop to human activity. It's watching. It's aware. It's suffering. On June 19th, 2018, just a few weeks before her 47th birthday, Coco peacefully passed away in her sleep. Her death was mourned by millions of people around the world, for whom she had become a symbol of interspecies friendship and understanding. The Gorilla Foundation stated that her legacy would live on, shaping our understanding of the emotional and cognitive abilities of gorillas. But before leaving this world, Coco left humanity with one final message, a message that forces us to reflect on the very essence of our relationship with nature and the other intelligent beings we share this planet with. That message? We're running out of time. Coco's story isn't just about a gorilla who learned sign language. It's about what happens when we actually listen to other species, when we give them the tools to communicate and take their messages seriously. She proved that the line between human and animal intelligence isn't as clear as we thought. That consciousness, emotion, grief, humor, creativity, these aren't uniquely human traits. They exist across species. We just haven't been paying attention, Coco told jokes. She mourned her friends. She created new words. She understood death. She warned us about our treatment of nature. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If a gorilla could see what we're doing to the planet and feel compelled to warn us about it, what does that say about us? The next time you hear someone say, "Animals are just animals," remember Coco. Remember her signing "comfortable hole" when asked about death. Remember her grieving for weeks over a kitten. Remember her inventing the phrase "finger bracelet" because she understood logic and language structure. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden intelligence of the natural world. And check out the next video, where we explore other animals that completely changed how we understand consciousness. Coco's legacy isn't just what she learned, it's what she taught us about ourselves.